welcome, welcome.
I like that music actually better than the countdown music because that's getting boring now. That countdown music. Also, on that slide, it said FlutterCon call for papers open. No, it's closed.
I know. I
already in.
Not
I have to
anymore.
mention that. People
I'm
all
in.
forgotten about it not being open anymore. God.
I'm going to be at a Flutter conference, and actually, I'm going to be at an actual
person?
Flutter conference and in person.
In person for
Oh,
Believe it
real.
or not.
Wow.
Yeah. So I know so many of you think that I'm just an avatar, but I do actually have a corporeal body that sits here in this chair every time we're on the screen. Right. What?
As Frey's saying here, it looks like we'll see each other, and we will.
Yeah.
I think all three of us will be there, right?
I am not right now, although I'm thinking about it.
Oh yes, come on, you have to.
Yeah.
What? There's a Wednesday. It's on a Wednesday. Is it on Thursday and Friday, or is it on a Wednesday as well?
Yes, right.
You know what?
And I'm also going to be at I/O. So if you're at I/O, you'll see me there as well.
It's 25th, 26th.
Coming
25th, 26th of June.
It is. So we should arrange to do a Humpday Q&A live from FlutterCon USA.
Oh, sure. Sure. So I'm not jet lagged insufficiently. I may even be flying a red eye to get there for
you won't be jet lagged on the first day. Come on, like.
I don't have the practice I used to have. I've flown over 2.5 million miles in planes in my career, but I don't. I've only flown once in the last 6 months.
You were that lucky person that got one of those. Was it those? Who was it that gave those gold tickets away? Where like you get like lifetime like flying miles or whatever it is, and like those few people that back in the day got it and they're still using it today.
Yeah,
and they're trying to legally take it away from them that they can't. You agreed to it. Tough luck.
Yeah, no, I was not part of that program. That would have cost it was something like $2 million. But once you got that, you could definitely easily get $2 million worth of flights within the first couple of years.
Yeah, but this is it, right? I think that's how they did. Like the idea was a great marketing ploy until they realized actually people are going to consume this.
Yeah. There were people flying out of the country just for lunch. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. We should introduce ourselves. First we got rules.
Let's do the rules.
We got all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Yes. Right, here I am. I'm Virtual Scott today, so I'm going to be reading the rules. So be nice, be respectful, be constructive. You are interacting with other actual human beings, not just avatars or bots. Pretty sure most of you out there are not bots. Okay. I don't know, though. Okay. But don't post anything if it's adult content or rude or offensive. We do have ban hammers, so we can eliminate some of that, but don't annoy us by doing that. Don't advertise or promote anything. The only people allowed to promote things are people with their face on the screen. That's the only people that can promote their own stuff. Don't spam. Don't post the same thing again and again and again. Very boring. Very important also not to post a question and then post that exact same question 20 minutes later just to make sure that I've seen it, because all that will do is move you down 20 minutes in the queue. So don't do that. Harassment of any kind, not tolerated. Again, we do have ban hammers. We do use them, but do have a good time because we're having a great time here. We're sharing this information with you every week. We love doing this or we wouldn't be doing it. So have fun.
And let's do some brief introductions. My name's Simon Lightfoot, Flutter Community Leader, CTO at Dev Angels London. And you can follow me on Twitter at Dev Angels London and some other places around online. Similar thing. Scott's not with us. Randall.
I am a Dart and Flutter Google developer expert based in Portland, Oregon, most of the time, except when I'm flying around the occasional other places. That means I spend about probably 2 more hours than I should. 2 hours a day answering questions on places like Stack Overflow and I keep trying to say Foursquare. Why do I keep introducing Foursquare to this list? It's not like we have a lot of location-based Flutter questions, right? So what's the best Flutter guys in Northeast Portland? Yeah, right. So it doesn't happen that way. But Reddit and Slack and the Discords, multiple Discords I'm present on. And here, because this is also our weekly Humpday Q&A show, so I'm answering questions here as often as I can. And for this show, I specifically have the role that I'm the one watching the chat, watching y'all to be typing your questions in so that we can answer them in the order received typically. Put Q colon in front of them. That way I'll know it's questions for us and not just one of you all talking back and forth amongst yourselves, which happens a lot. That's enough of that.
And John.
Yeah, John, we've been part of the Flutter community for, I don't know, what are we going on now? 8+ years, something like that, almost.
Somewhere there. Yeah.
Somewhere in that area. But yeah, just a few. Yeah, so I have a day job that keeps me pretty busy that's not Flutter related. And then in my free time, I do a bunch of stuff like Randall, hanging out in places, answering questions on Discord, managing the Flutter community medium, and building a couple of apps of my own in the stores out there.
Oh,
that's it. We're back in.
Yeah.
So we're back today with our usual scheduled programming, as they say, and we will be answering all your Flutter and Dart questions. If you want to talk AI, that is not for today. That's for next Monday at the next Flutter Community AI Circle meeting, where we'll be discussing all the AI stuff.
AI.
Not today. I think everyone's. I've certainly been hearing way too much about AI recently.
Oh my gosh. I was driving my son into school this morning, and the sports talk station that I listened to in the mornings was talking about AI because they did this, we took a voice and turned it into an AI and had that AI ask the same guy that they recorded questions, sort of thing. So they were all freaking out about AI. So yes, it's everywhere.
Yep. And there you go. Immediately after he says no AI, you bring up an AI thing. That's great.
But it's everywhere.
I know.
It's fine. It's fine. No problem at all.
All right. Yeah,
it's got a switch.
Tilt, glitch. Oh, wow. We actually have 8 questions that might take us some time.
Actually, I just realized there's something that we forgot, which is
we have our new slide. Yeah.
We got a slide.
Yeah. If you're going to share code with us, this is how you do it.
Yeah.
You cannot post links, as we said. So don't post a link. Do this. Go to just.new. Log in if you have to. We left that part out, but if you have to log into GitHub, log in. Start a new gist, put your stuff in there, and then grab the code at the end and share that generated hash with us. And then we can open it up and view it.
Yeah, only the hex part at the end.
Yes.
Any of the slashes or anything ahead of that.
As highlighted in the lovely red box that was painted by John.
Oh. Okay.
Cool. Thanks, John, for putting it out, by the way.
Yeah, now we can add that to our list. And no, we actually didn't say you can't post URLs. We just said don't.
Yeah, we
usually don't see it.
You can do it.
Nobody will see it.
Yeah. You're speaking to yourself, dancing with yourself on that one.
It'll look like it went through, but nobody sees it.
Nobody sees it. It's just dead on arrival. Okay, we have 2 questions in the queue. We could tackle them, or we could
jump straight in.
Let's start. So the one might lead to some code.
This was debatable. I like it. I like where the question's going, but I think the terminology is a little weird. Do you think mobile development counts as front end?
Some of it.
Yeah. I mean, but this is when I'm looking up, must have front end skills. I always think of front end as just pure JavaScript, and I know how to make the browsers dance. But no, there are some people who include front end as being mobile.
I would even think desktop world, right? I mean, because you've got, you might have a front end that is your Windows app, but it's talking to servers on the back end to get data and stuff like that. So I think it depends on the app.
It could be that these terms are just too outdated because they were created back in the .com boom when we had people who were good at JavaScript
server,
and people who were great at Laravel and other things on the hind end.
I mean, when you say front end and back end is just if you have a back end, then you've got a front end and a back end to your product. That's what it is, right? So.
Well, front end to me is what the user sees, right? So if you're building a UI that the user is going to see, that's the front end. So in mobile, and that's where it's like, you can get it a little murky. I mean, but for the most part, if you're building a UI, that's the front end. And if you're building something that's sitting behind the scenes has no front end, directly, then that's back end, server side, whatever you want to call it.
I mean, like, arguably, all the people who did coding in PHP and Perl and stuff in the .com boom and the subsequent years after that, I felt like I was effectively front end because I'm doing what the UI looks like,
right?
Directly in my Perl code, although it's being generated as HTML in the back end and sent to the browser with each new page load. So
that's a bit different. I mean, that's in the sense of a web development, right? Which was always, and strictly speaking, has always been has strictly been like server-side rendered, right? I mean, that's what you're doing. You're generating content and sending it down to the app, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not sure I would see that any differently, to be honest. I mean, we still do the same thing in apps, right? Like you can do server-side rendering in apps, right?
Sure.
But the difference here is like even mobile products now have, even web products have now gone to like that client side, putting logic on the client side, so it's no longer just like driven from the server side, right?
Yeah.
It's funny how things always go around in circles, right? Because we do have server-side rendering, and that's a big thing now as well.
Yeah.
My favorite cycle was the constant shifting in corporations from everything centralized over to everything distributed, over to everything centralized, over to everything distributed. And somebody suggested you could hide up or hook up a tidal generator and pick up the waves and generate energy with all the waving going back and forth between the centralized versus distributed stuff.
Yep. Yeah.
And we're still like, now we're getting smart devices again, so that the back ends can be a little more lame. But then we're getting really smart back ends too by putting LLMs and stuff in there and more advanced scaling and stuff. So I think the terminology needs to catch up, but I don't think it ever will. I think we just need to invent.
Does it really need to? Strictly speaking,
nah.
Unless it's a keyword that is being looked for on a resume, or something you're being asked in an interview where there's only one right answer and it's secret. I don't really think it matters much. But I've seen traps like that in interviews where people are asking questions that they have a particular, probably biased answer for that they're looking for, and it's a little scary sometimes that you can't just ace an interview.
Looking for that key term that you have to say. It's like
right.
Yeah. Yep. Right. The magic words. Yes. Okay. Well, I think we've beaten that one to death. Let's move on.
I just want to just check. So I just made a couple of modifications just to highlight the box at the bottom there. And a bit of font change just to match it with the rest. So okay, looks good. Good.
Yes. Except he didn't add the might need to log in part yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll work out when you try and do it, and it says log in.
Yes, right. That's true. Yeah, if you get there and it makes you log in, you're gonna go, I guess I need to log in too.
Yeah.
I'm always logged into GitHub 24 hours a day. So Right. Who isn't? I mean, really? Well, I guess not. Next question, I guess. Let's move on.
Yeah.
MVVM. Please stop bringing up MVVM. It frustrates me every time I see that, because that's not from the Flutter world. That is a term that you use in the Android world.
At the end of the day, there's a reason for this model, and it's about how deep you go with it, right? Like as an architecture platform, as a sort of solving the architecture problem, it doesn't really come into it. There is I can show you a good example view model for sure, right? Like the view model has a practical purpose in certain screens. So for example, like your app has to bring together several data sources, to render one screen into the app, right? So you have your one screen has a model behind it that represents all the data that screen needs. That is your view model. And then you can then have multiple sources filling that view model with information and updating its state in some way. And then when that updates, you can have like a listener or some other mechanism that updates your UI. But that is essentially what a good example of a view model. Another good example of view model would be like having a list with different bits of content in. So you might have, I'll get a good example of this. You might have, let's say, a hierarchical data you want to display in a list. So what I mean by that is you want to flatten it. So you've got like categories, and then you've got items in those categories, right? In that situation, you want to display one scrollable list. What you actually want to do is put both category model items and product items, right, in one model. So basically what you're doing is you're making a new model which wraps those things, and maybe you want to put dates in between or something like that. Now you've got like three different models, but each representing the same sort of data in one view model. That makes sense. So you might pass a view model back to the front end, which just lists all the data in the order in which they want it displayed. When then we say, let's say you choose to filter the screen and say reorder the items, that goes off to your back end, or off to the wherever it needs to go to, the back end of your app, the back end of the server, whatever, reorders that data and returns back a list that's reordered for the front end to consume, right? That's the difference, right? So a view model is there as think of a view model as a way of representing a model of data for the view of your app, for the display of your app.
Yeah, and where I say that MVVM doesn't really apply to Flutter is because Flutter, unlike those other frameworks, has directly observable source of truth data in the form of a change notifier. And it means that your source of truth, your model, doesn't need an intermediate layer view model to be able to be observable for a view. It can be directly observable as a model.
Yeah.
And that's why I think MVVM doesn't directly apply to Flutter, because we do have directly observable source of truth.
Yeah, the docs do reference it, though. It's the architecture. In the architecture,
I think view model is fine.
One example of the architecture. Stop bringing that up as one example they picked is MVVM, but they said all architectures that do all of this is fine.
I have something to add. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So
hear you.
Think of it. Hi, by the way. Think of it as somebody who is coming to Flutter that isn't used to how Flutter architecture is. So asking a question about showing an example of MVVM, think of it from that perspective. You guys have all been using Flutter for a really long time. We may have new viewers. This person may be one, don't know. Or there's people like me that started with iOS, came in here, but still, I still have SQL in my head. But so even though you get this question, we still need to help get people to transition.
Elaine was just saying he's coming from Android development as well, so that's kind of where he's coming from. I also I've been doing Android development and more recently more Flutter development for like the past 15 years. And like it's very common practice to do view model in like to solve list view and a recycler view and all that kind of fun stuff. Like to kind of solve that because you have different data types. You want to display different models. You make a view model, but the sort of like you can mix and match all these concepts up. They're all just naming to get around the conceptually the object-oriented approaches to doing things, right? No. So, for example, it's a presenter, right? A presenter is something that's going to change the behavior of what's needed to display something, right? It presents something. So you don't have to follow any particular one pattern to say, okay, my presenter is going to contain the logic that adjusts my view model. There you go. Now you and just keep that consistent throughout your app, and there you go. You've made up your own pattern. It's called presenter view model. There you go.
Yes, but you're also Simon, the Flutter whisperer. Again, people don't have your experience. Not yet.
There's quite a few examples that we've done. We can maybe look into this as an idea of in a bit.
Yeah, one last thing I want to put in this is that what has happened practically on all of the projects I've worked on, because I've worked on a few dozen projects over the last 6 years, the organizations that insisted on MVVM because it's the right thing to do, it almost always ended up creating a model, then creating a view model that is method for method and property for property the same as the model. And I'm going, you don't need to do that in Flutter. We have observable direct.
I think that it's not just Flutter, but it's declarative UI, right? You want the UI to represent the state, so you adjust the state and the UI follows, right? That's the idea, right? But yeah, let's we can look into that for sure.
Okay.
So another thing I was thinking, and this is, I know I'm not supposed to say a particular acronym, so I'm not going to. As we are working on the Flutter community website, we could have an example to help people do that transition. So when they come to Flutter and you've got companies that are doing like what Randall was saying, here's an example, here's what you're talking about, but here's how you should do it in Flutter. And then that can help educate the world.
Exactly. And that's what
Aren't you glad I showed up?
Well, I know it'd be really nice, I think, to get like, if we could do some like knowledge base articles in there, and that kind of takes some of what we've been doing on the show with the code and everything else.
I'm going to write it down, add it to my list with all of the other.
Honestly, it's not accessible where it is right now. Like, it's not very findable. It's not very accessible. We have a website which you can search and everything else. It makes way more sense.
So Lane, the reason
it's not a hot topic. There's not a hot topic, Lane. Don't realize it's
because I'm religious about this. It's why it's not for everybody.
Yes, we will most definitely talk architecture today. You'll have a hard time to ask us not to. Right. So what's
so back to just chatting.
Ask all your architecture questions here.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
Can we mention GetX? We could do that.
Oh, don't do that.
You brought it up. You now have to. Oh, Randall. Okay, so just say your little very quick 2 sentences.
He's gone. He's banned.
Nope. You gotta say. You've got to explain, because there's going to be people out there that are like, oh, they heard it and because it came from Randall's mouth. Now tell them why they don't want to use it in 3 sentences or less.
I don't want to go into it. No.
Okay. Basically, don't use it.
It will cause you more headaches.
What my goal with it is talking about it gives it more latitude than it's even worth.
Exactly. Don't let those words come out of your mouth.
If I shut up about it, it'll just move on. I'm just trying to bring up some other forbidden topic.
He forgot the underscore in there. He meant get _X.
Yes, or get it. I meant get it.
Yeah.
Something. Nah. Anyway, come on, let's do it.
Yeah. Riverpod. Yeah. That's the right thing. That's what I always reach for. That's the first thing.
Yeah, that's it. Set state all the way. Set state.
Yeah. Set state's fine. Mark these builds goes a long way.
And you can actually maybe it's worth showing actually how to do your own widgets without stateful stateless widget, like to do your own.
Sorry, dyslexia. I read it as set stuff.
Set stuff. Gotta set the right stuff.
That's the new one. For people who don't know, I'm Steph.
It's a stuffful widget.
Update correctly.
Full of stuff.
Should I introduce myself?
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Steph Patterson. I am part of the Flutter community leadership. I co-organize the Flutteristas, which is an organization for women and non-binary who have an interest in Flutter. And I don't have the banner. Let me get it.
No.
You got it?
Yeah.
So if you are a woman or non-binary, you are more than welcome to join. Fill out the form or go to our website and fill out the form. And we will get you added. There's a whole bunch of people who have gone through it. So I'm the one that adds everybody, and I'm getting help going through the list. So if you do that, you can ping me on Blue Sky, which doesn't have my little thing on my name with it on there. It's geekmespeakstuff.dev. And if it's on the bird site, it doesn't have the .dev. So we'd love to have you. I'm going to say the word. I am also the team lead on the Flutter Community AI Circle, which is what we were talking about, or they were talking about on Mondays. And I got suckered into that, just so everybody knows. Simon basically dumped it on me, but he admitted it yesterday. Actually, he said something to the effect of, I kind of dumped it on you. And I'm like, you didn't kind of. So anyway, we are working on our website, and it's not right now, it's just that, but we are also going to be expanding the Flutter Community's website. And by day, I used to be a SQL developer, doing Flutter in my free time. And now I'm pretty much all I'm doing now is Flutter.
Yeah.
Huh?
SQL by day, Flutter by night.
It used to be, or when I had free time, but being laid off the end of March, I am no longer dreaming in SQL, which is really nice after
nightmares.
30 years of coding in SQL. And
dreaming in SQL. It's nice.
Yeah. And most of my experience is in John's company's version.
Why is this a full read? Why is this a full
No, but you know what? I came up with some really great solution. I'm like, because I'm struggling, trying to figure this out, couldn't figure it out. And then I wake up in the morning going, oh, yeah. So anyway.
We all do that without code. We all do that. Let's be honest. We all do that without code.
Yes.
I was just thinking of you waking up in the middle of the night with cold sweats, like, oh my god, that's a long SQL statement. That's n squared times.
I can imagine.
I have. Now it's. Oh my gosh! I forgot to do this for that project that we're not going to really talk about that.
Anyway.
Actually, though, I do think, though, that Stephanie...
Can you plug in your Ethernet? Your connection seems a bit unstable, by the way.
My Ethernet is plugged in.
Oh, okay.
It's it's a little wobbly.
Maybe turn off the Wi-Fi and make sure it's working.
Stop your torrents.
Are you talking about my image? Because I'm in my green background.
No, it wasn't that. It was really dropping out. You were losing frames. So.
Yeah.
Anyways.
The Wi-Fi truck was driving away. I was going to suggest when she was here that we do actually want to point people to the Monday program, right?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, so we should have that.
We have a playlist.
And then we'll quit.
Yeah, we do have a playlist. Simon, do you have it handy? Oh, actually, hold on. I have it in my Slack conversation that we had that, so I can grab it from there.
Good. I was actually going to bring up the slide, but I can't find the slides.
The slide's good too.
No, it's okay. I will put it in. Oh, wrong place.
Is somebody at your house using the microwave?
No.
Your bandwidth.
It's in the it's in the chat, and I'll put it up on a banner here shortly.
Okay. Cool. Yes.
That's our playlist. Like, subscribe, follow, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
FDAIC.
And I do see over on this screen that it was jerky. I don't know why.
Yep. Oh well.
I don't have that project I was telling you about Simon running right now because I ran out of tokens.
I told you to run out of tokens during it.
Anyway, I totally did.
Let's move on from that topic. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's talk about architecture. Okay.
Show me all the architecture.
Yeah, get your questions in, everyone. So more questions, the merrier.
I think we have one more in there, right?
Otherwise, we'll just jump on to some live coding, right?
We
I guess there is.
Quintos. Yeah.
Here's another question. What is the best approach to learn native Android and iOS stuff to make the most out of Flutter and level up my skills? As learned Flutter without prior knowledge, experience in mobile data. Oh, like me. I never came through the iOS and Android world, so I'm still new to all that.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, first of all, I'd say, what experience do you have, right? Because did you come to Flutter brand new as a developer? Did you come with web background? Yeah. I mean, in all honesty, the whole that each of the platforms have their particular behaviors and the way that from legacy and the way that they've been kind of developed over the years. And I think I don't know if I've seen anywhere that really talks about. I feel it's actually quite handy to know about the history of it, to understand the reasons behind choices that are made. I think it's quite an important thing when you read like a framework or some sort of code as a developer. This is off of the tangent, but I feel this is a good tangent to take. As a developer, experienced developer, you take your knowledge and apply it to anything that you read that's code and say, if I was to do this, how would I be doing it? And once you start applying that phrase almost to what you're reading, you start going, oh, of course it's over there, because that's the way it makes sense to put it over there, or this component or that component, and you start making it. Now, this comes from experience. Now, what you need to do is kind of leverage that thing where you're reading it and going, oh, they put it over there. Why did they put it over there? Understand why. You say the nugget in the back of your head, and then when it comes to you to go back to a similar platform, you're like, oh, of course it's over there, because you've got that experience, right? And I think the same comes from the Android or iOS platforms in terms of there's a reason why they chose to do activities and services and how they behave in like the mobile world, and the reasons behind those choices at the time and what it means now. And I don't know of anywhere particularly where I could say you could learn that information. However, I will say that the Android d.android.com, that's short for developer.android.com. You can go to d.android.com, it redirects you. Has some really great documentation around mobile. Takes you all the way through from like navigation structures, hierarchy, mobile, like different form factors of screens. Like there's tons of stuff in there that is a great learning base for mobile. And I'd also say there's some good sort of Udemy Code Lab kind of stuff around that you could learn from. I don't know if there is a roadmap. It doesn't roadmap the same roadmap site that we recommend for Flutter have a roadmap for mobile.
I think so. Let me see if I can
there are some books out too.
Yeah,
but not specific to the native side. I mean, for me, if I can get the most out of Flutter without having to do something on the native side, that's gear yourself towards that. So if you're not coming from a mobile background, try and focus on the Flutter side. Only use the native side if you absolutely have to.
So I'm gonna like that. That's that's just good advice from a beginner. But if you get to a point, right, where you've been asked to do things and you require that knowledge of the native platform, right? No. So I think that's the thing. It's like, don't let the native platform get in your way of learning at the beginning, for sure. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, right? Like they're really broad. Yeah. They've got good coverage. And I will also say that all of the stuff that you learn about mobile development, even with Flutter, applies to Android and iOS in terms of like apps, right? So mobile design, everything else, but it's more about the platform behaviors, which I think is what you don't get any of that information from looking at Flutter or building mobile apps, right? Great, thanks, Lane. So I will say that there is. I'll bring this up on screen here, hopefully. Hopefully, if it loads. There you go.
Hey.
So there's.
I love the top line in the yellow.
Sorry.
What it says in the bright yellow strip across the top.
That was there for you.
Yes. A new premium course as well. Wow.
So yeah, so you've got the Android roadmap, and this is kind of the idea is that you you can follow this roadmap as a guide to start learning about, as we said, activities, intent, services, Jetpack Compose, all the different layouts, and start kind of like feeding yourself through to like getting your app on the stores. And the same goes for, there's an iOS one here. So this is kind of like a good sort of like learning roadmap, sort of like a route to take, because to do the things further down, you need to know the things before, right? So this kind of gives you some sort of direction. And there's also one for Flutter as well. I might as well bring that up. There you go. Oh, Fluty. Flutter. There you go.
Fluty.
But as Lane was saying, in the chat, the what you call it ones, brain. The ones that are in the iOS and Google websites are actually like the main ones that you probably want to look at. So yeah, there you go. Anything else anyone wants to add to that, I guess?
No.
Yep. So we go on to the next question, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, let me find him. Finding the let's see, push that button, get rid of that, get rid of that. How to build apps for Android TV, tvOS, CarPlay, Android Auto.
As in, what do you mean learn how to build? Just build them. I'm sorry, it's a bit facetious of me. I mean, Android TV is just an Android app. So press the button. Right? Press the button, make it happen.
I've wanted to do that for tvOS.
tvOS, you can do web apps, I believe, like it's web-based. So that should also work with Flutter, just release for web and then load it on tvOS. CarPlay and Android Auto, there's packages on pub.dev. So you can just take advantage of those. So isn't it CarKit? Something like that? I can't remember what it's called now. Auto. I know there's one because I worked on it. I just don't remember what it's called. What is their pack? Oh, my brain. I no longer hold everything in my brain anymore.
You're not.
It's not Android Auto. It was.
We're all in trouble then.
No, it's gone.
The world will go to hell. Simon's getting lost.
No, is it Android? I literally used it. I for the life of me, I can't find it right now. You would thought it would be called Android Auto, but it's not. Did I do something custom? Maybe I did something custom.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yes,
wouldn't surprise me either. But to be honest, like most things, like you're not. So let's just be clear about this, right? When you're building a Flutter app, you're not building an app that's separate from the platform. You're building on that platform, right?
Right.
So when you build a Android app, you're compiling it for Android, which basically means everything on Android is available to you, right? You build on iOS, everything on iOS is available to you, right? So just literally go to the Android website, Android developer website, look up Android Auto, see what you need to do it, and add it to your app. So you put like the implements, whatever package it is inside your Gradle script. You can then create yourself a platform channel or use FFI or whatever you want to do to control the native platform. And that's it. You can now call the Android Auto APIs. Right? There's guides on the Flutter website about how you use plugins or make your own plugins. So either you can find a package on the Dart website, or you need to do that your own, right? So on pub.dev, you can let's bring this up on here. Flutter.dev, there's some guides about packaging plugins here. So using them, but also developing them, right? So So this we'll talk a bit about how they operate. I think this is just like how you include them, right? Yeah.
Yeah, how they're different. And
the development one, I think. Of course, the time I want to find the graphic, they've moved it. Where's the graphic that shows platform channels?
I don't know.
I suppose in developing our
platform integration. Yeah.
Right in platform specific code. There we go. That's the one I was looking for. There you go.
Pictures.
So you get a lovely picture, right? So I'll dump this in the chat, but for the most part, yeah, like it talks about how you change things on the native Android platform, calling Jetpack APIs, for example, from Flutter, how you can do all that, making a method channel, blah blah blah. Like there's a bunch of stuff, right? But I mean, like this is just like how you integrate with the native platform. You can do that without a plugin, right? You can just do that as part of your app. But it does mean now that your Android folder has now got custom implementation code in it. It's probably better to do it as a separate package. And that way you can either share it with the community if you want to, or you can, and also means that you can not relying on directly inside your kind of application layer. Yeah, it's more about the fact that, if you want to upgrade your, I thought from my experience to building Flutter apps, I would say I would avoid customizing anything in the Android and iOS folders as much as possible. You can, right? But it means that any upgrade that takes place to do with let's say the way Gradle works, or I'm going to switch from Groovy to Kotlin Gradle scripts and blah blah blah, is like you've got to go do that manually, right? You've got to go understand the platform, do that manually, right? So we're talking about understanding it. You can, or you, as we said on the show before, you can just delete those folders around Flutter create in the current directory, and it will recreate those folders with the latest integration, right? So the nice thing about that is whatever plugins and everything else, they're going to stay with you, right? So they're separate to those folders, so they're going to continue to work. Obviously, it means you've got maybe more surface area to maintain, but I think it's a reasonable switch, thing, and it also means that you can then keep your app modular and also, as I said, share that with the community if you want to. Okay, right, that's me. I'll shut up now.
Just add to that. I just want to say I don't think I've ever said this on the show before, but it's actually gotten in my way. When you do Flutter create dot, which is how you rebuild folders that you've deleted so that they'll be replaced with the current modern version of that folder, like for web or for iOS or Android or whatever. If you have renamed the parent subdirectory of your project so that it's no longer a valid Flutter name, it won't work.
Yeah.
And I get this a lot because I kind of like to have initial cap directory names and if I have a Git directory that has multiple Git projects in it, I like to have capital letters for those. So if I download it, when I clone it, of course, it's going to be lowercase.
Yep.
But then I rename it to uppercase, and then someday I want to do Flutter create dot, it blows up.
That only affects you if you've got your top level of your repo as your main Flutter project.
Right. Yeah.
Just to be clear about that, what the point is.
Right.
If you've got if you do like a mono repo, or you've got like a docs directory and then you've got like the app directory, that's fine because your app folder is a valid package name. But yeah, it'll complain if the folder you're in is not a valid package name, even though it doesn't matter. It's more about the pub spec. It's just the way that the create tool works.
Yeah.
It tries to direct to the main name.
We could probably submit a bug on it and say, don't do that, but whatever.
Could you change the name that's in the pub spec? Could you change the name that's in the pub?
That name doesn't matter. It tries to look.
It's okay.
You can change the name in the pub spec. Don't get me right. At any point, this is separate to what we're just talking about.
Okay.
You can change it at any point, but then if you've got package import paths, they're all going to be wrong.
Yep.
What I normally do is name every one of my apps package is app.
Oh,
does it app? And then that way, all the imports are always going to be app. You can copy files between projects if you want to. It's all going to be the same. Because it doesn't matter what it's called. Like the package name for your app isn't like consumed anywhere but the app itself, right? So,
yeah. Interesting. Cool. All right. Moving on. This one's a curious one. I like this one. 3.0 is int, and 3.0 is double in web. Yes, in web. And that's because there is no
int type
in web.
Right.
Yeah.
It's never been an int. It's only a double in web.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
JavaScript doesn't work with integers. That's half the problem. It's why you need type coercion in JavaScript. Because it doesn't have integers.
Right.
So in fact, they're not. It's not true in Flutter Web.
Correct. Everything in web is double.
No, but in Flutter Web, it's not. Both is not a double. Type safety is maintained by the nature of the wrapping that happens. They said both cases are true in Flutter Web. It's not. It's literally the way that you detect if you're running on web is if 0 does not equal 0.0. It's literally the if statement that's in Dart. Right? Because I just like
it's the way around. I think it's backwards. 0 equals 0.0 in web.
Yes. Yeah, it would be an equals.
Except they got rid of that because in WASM it's actually separate.
I mean, the point here, right, is that you want to. It shouldn't matter when if you compile code, right? Because once you've compiled the code, all the type safety happens at. I'm not going to go into this one. This is a bad topic to go into. But the point here is that type safety happens at compile time as well. Oh, K is where they changed it. Now it's dart.java.js util. Interesting. But don't do the not equals check anymore. That was on like version 1 of web. Anyway, I just checked. But the point here is that Dart is its own beast, right? Like objects in Dart are not the same as objects in JavaScript, right? Even though it's compiled to JavaScript, it's got its own wrapping stuff so that it can maintain all the accountancy and everything else around it that it needs to operate, and therefore they're not the same.
Yep. All right, moving on. This one would actually make a good code lab for us to do live coding with. How can I use and test the latest Dart features? Because I set my Flutter to master, but the new things like the dot shorthands don't work. It's because you have to add an experimental flag to your Dart run command. Can we show that?
Quite possibly.
If he can Google fast enough, he's going to Google the solution right now. With one hand tied up with drinking Coke. Yes.
No, it's more about the fact that I need to go upgrade my Flutter version because
I was going to say he's probably on a different Flutter version. Yeah.
Well, you can use Puro.
I know I have all that. It's more about
I don't
know what I'm using.
So we'll just set that aside for our live coding, but we're almost at the top of the hour, so we probably should start thinking about that anyway.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to jump in a couple minutes. So
okay. So let's what
else we got?
Are you about showing something, Simon, or shall I go on to the next question?
Carry on with the questions. Let's carry on with the questions.
Okay. Could you share a general overview of how to implement the proper pipeline for Flutter apps? Sounds like he's a Bitbucket user and wants to figure out how to go from Bitbucket to a pipeline that all the way through publishing.
Yeah,
I guess there are guides on that, aren't there? Aren't there?
Oh yeah.
App is in Bitbucket. Okay. I mean, what do you normally do?
If you Google Flutter pipeline Bitbucket, I'm sure you'll find numerous tutorials, videos, everything.
I mean, like things like GitHub Actions, right? Like you're just setting up here the steps that I want to go through, right? But that's down to what you want to do. For example, you want to run Flutter test, you run Flutter test. You want to run I think there's some standard steps. I'm trying to think where I've actually used them last that I can share. Bear with me. Brain. Yes. I mean, it depends on what you're building. That's not public. There is actually a standard Dart and Flutter GitHub actions that you can like use. So
yeah,
I mean, the thing is, it's more about like, yeah. Well, I'm saying that they're going to have similar.
Okay.
I mean, we talk about pipeline. I think you need to be sort of what you ask.
Yeah. I threw one. I threw the second link. I threw in the private chat. If you want to share that one out, that one looks like it's got.
Sorry, I missed that.
It's recent and has a bunch of decent info.
Cool.
Oh yeah. I remember. Oh, I remember that one going out. Hang on. Yeah. So I could bring that up. I think.
Cool.
There you go. Is that the one? That's the one, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's
like
one.
Right keywords.
So I see Flutter applications using Bitbucket. Let's have a look.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. Look, I've already covered the process of automation with Flutter and GitHub. Actions go here. Yep. So you create your pipelines YAML. You use a particular image. In this case, Cirrus CI have a Flutter image that they want to use. Yeah, set up your step, and there you go. So it does pub get, runs Flutter analyze, and then Flutter build APK. Oh, sorry, it's off the screen there. So that's about as simple as your pipeline gets. You can set a max time size, max time on it. Size would be the size of the VM probably that's running this thing, I would assume. But yeah, I mean, like again, it's just the same commands that you would run yourself. You're just automating the process, right? In this case, triggering on a PR. When a PR is launched, it runs these. And the idea is, I guess, in Bitbucket, if one of these steps fails, it will fail this to proceed onwards. I mean, that's really down to the particulars of how you want to, like, do your pipeline. And in this case, you can see here, like, trigger automatic artifacts, and that's it. It's going to grab the output of this directory and save it as a result of the build. And that's about it. I mean, you can, as you say, optional add environment during build. You know, you add build flavors. You need to add an input to your script so that you can say build this particular flavor. Yeah. And all you're doing is you're essentially doing Flutter build APK -- flavor and then the variable name, right? So the whole thing about pipelines is just like build pipelines, particularly say pipelines, is just to automate your build process, right? So you're not having to manually press all those, type all those buttons, and it also means that you can then automate it on situation. So like on a regular PR, you can automate it, see if it builds. If it builds, then you could like do a Firebase preview deploy and actually get on people's devices. And if it happened with it, then you can merge your code, right? Like,
well, one other consideration is the management of secrets. So there's going to be some pipeline in Bitbucket for holding the secrets and a way of inserting them into your build steps, because clearly if you've got secrets, you're not going to put it in your Git source code. You're going to put it in some mechanism.
You shouldn't put them there.
Yes,
but people won't.
Yeah. Inside of GitHub settings, you get like a secret section where you can set up those environment variables. Or secrets, and then you can access those during your scripts when they run. Same goes, though. I probably bet $1 million that you've got the same thing on Bitbucket, right? So like, I don't have that to bet, but you know what I mean. Like it's common practice.
Yeah. Yep.
And what's funny is that YAML file looks reminds me a little bit of the GitHub actions. So I presume they probably just
they're all the same. Yeah. I mean, YAML has become like the de facto kind of config standard because. It one-to-one converts into JSON, which is then machine readable by like everything and processable by everything, right?
Yep.
So,
indeed. Okay, we got one new question here.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to jump. Yep.
All right, John. Thanks for
your hour's up.
I gotta be
on.
Yeah. All right.
That's it.
See you guys
here for an hour.
Week.
That's more than most people do.
Yes.
All right.
Adios.
Bye. All right.
And then there was 2.
Yes, for large apps, should it use CodeGen with libraries freeze and JSON serializable, or write the code manually?
Why write any code manually when you can have something generate for you?
Go write an assembly if you want to spend more time. Yeah. Right.
So, I mean, that's effectively what a compiler is, right? A code generator. Just thinking about it. Right? It's about what you're building. So we're talking about source code generation right now. Yeah, I don't think it doesn't matter for large apps or small apps. Have it, if I'm doing more than one model, why am I doing it by hand to do the JSON serializable stuff, right? I mean, I think there is something that the Flutter team are addressing right now. This actually comes up in their, came out of their building production, and they've announced this on their roadmap and on the Medium announcements on medium.com that they're working on a solution for in the language and framework itself for serialization, like something that's more appropriate, right? So JSON serializable has become the de facto standard just because, well, two things really. One, it's super basic, right? Which means you're not just getting lots of extras. And then two, it is written by one of the Dart team members, right? So it has some credence to its standards and everything else, right? Now, saying that, what it doesn't give you is it does just JSON. So it just does to JSON from JSON. That's it. Okay. What you don't get is overriding equality. You don't get any sort of builder pattern. You don't get any other maybe data class-ish kind of things that features that you might want. That's where Freezed comes in, right? So Freezed gives you a lot more to work with in that sense. However, there are plenty of others. There's Jaguar Serializer. There's Auto. Goodness me, I'm not. My brain is definitely not working today. That's gonna bug me now. I have to quickly check this. And our survey says not what I want. Why build? Oh yeah, built value. That was the one I was thinking of. I think. Let me just check this. Yeah, it was built value. So apparently their build is failing there. Yeah, this is owned by one of the so Google.dev is just owned by people in Google, but is not actually officially supported. Just FYI, right? But yeah, so built value. So this gives you JSON serialization, some immutability practices. Yeah, so you give it like there's a boilerplate kind of mechanism, but it will override and implement like this built like top level, which gives you a bunch of extra things. And then the serializer, they have this notion of being a serializer and a deserializer, which are separate to the actual model. But there's other patterns out there for similar things.
That wasn't the one by Killian, is it?
No. Oh, that was the other one. Yeah, Killian's done a really good one.
Except for the mistake about from JSON and to JSON, but okay. I'm just going to keep reading about that.
Hang on. You get him in grief, are you? You're griefing him.
I always griefing him on that. It's so easy to have gotten it right, and he missed the mark.
Yeah, Dart mappable. Yeah. This one.
Yep.
So yeah. So again. So yeah, with my class mappable, which is obviously generated. Run your generator command to generate it, and then you get from map from JSON. So I think that the problem that you're talking about is this. So by convention, I think this is the problem I've got, right? By convention in Flutter, it's wrong, right? So by convention, this is in my opinion, in my humble opinion.
In many opinions.
Right? Basically, from JSON has always taken a map and not a JSON string, right? Which basically means from map is actually correct and from JSON is actually correct, right? In this sense, right? However, the practice inside Flutter is to have from app take a map and to JSON to return a map. If you don't do this, you cannot mix it with this convert libraries that are inbuilt into Flutter and Dart. Yep. And that's why what we're talking about as something that needs to. And he also says a beware here, right? For this exact reason. So I think the key here is probably, I would argue that needs to be changed, and then have like from JSON string to JSON string, and actually have them like that. It's just at this point too late to change that. I think. Like, this needs to be changed inside
architecture. Yeah.
If anything, it needs to be changed. This is why the Flutter and Dart teams can come along and actually like make that choice and have a migration path for everyone.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of some other. I feel like there's other ones that I'm just not remembering.
It probably is. No, nothing. You're right. Nothing's coming to mind. I also posted a comment while you were talking about Builder and just being generally dismayed by Builder. I did a video that talked about 2 things that make Builder tolerable for me with VS Code. And that is, I have an on-demand build only this file as a VS Code extension. And the other one is that my VS Code panel will open up a build runner tab that I can click on, run once or run continuous. I don't have to remember the freaking command to type for Flutter, run builder, blah, blah,
I mean,
blah.
I have that. I added that in my IDE. So I just pressed a button and you can do the watch basically. So it just watches the files.
Right.
If I'm building models out in a project, I'm just going to like run the watch and then do it. And then I can validate everything works. I think the point here is that I think we were getting close. I think we are getting closer to a land where the time taken for that tooling is to run tooling around build is the builder pattern is not actually going to be as expensive as it is now. It has been getting cheaper over the years, right? Like it used to take like forever to spin up and actually run any sort of builders back in Dart 1 days. You don't know how good you've got it, you kids.
Yeah, you kids.
All right, what's next?
It's never bad if you never had to use Dartium. Sorry if I brought back a pain point there. I believe that is it for right now. Let me see.
Really?
Oh no, yeah. We just have the 2 live coding things right now, which is MVVM and let's do extensions with the .dart thing.
I actually want to try that out, the extensions thing. Let's see if I can get that going. Okay. Oh, I just remembered. I need to upgrade my Flutter.
No. Oh no. He's well, you get to watch him update. And also I pasted the link to my YouTube channel there. I just put a really nice 15-minute video on best practices for exceptions, which will be the core of my talk that I'm delivering next month at not DragonCon, FlutterCon, wrong con. Yes, it's a long con. Yes. Use Puro. Yes, that's right. Use
Puro. What channel is it on? Master.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, you have to look at the release notes to find out how to use this, I think. Or the extensions, wherever those are.
Give me a second.
Yep.
Do you know, I remember I would be using Master for absolutely everything all the time. Breaking changes and all. It was the way of doing things back in alpha. You needed all the most recent changes as they came.
Sometimes you needed that just even to compile.
I know.
This is broken and this release,
But you would submit the patches. It would be like, submit a patch. Oh, you see it's broken? Yeah, here you go. Boom. And there's it was, and that was merged like same day.
Yep. Oh, those were the days back in the early days of Dart and Flutter. Those were fun. Wild West. He's still looking for this stuff, I'm sure. I'm watching the questions. See if there's anything else here. Is Google Play Console built with Flutter? I don't know.
I have no idea. I don't think so. No, because it's not Canvas, is it?
Yeah.
No.
That's a way to tell. I have a plugin on my browser that tells me what packages something uses.
Is it Flutter?
Yeah, it could. It shows up when it's Flutter. It actually
I
has
have to
that.
say, like, is it like a button? Is it Flutter?
Like StreamYard is React and React styled components.
Oh, that's cool. What's it called? What's the plugin called?
Sentry. It has Stripe and BitPay and Core.js.
What package? What plugin for your browser?
This is called Wappalizer. It's a plugin.
Wappalizer?
Wappalizer. WAPPalizer. But I found it in the Chrome store. So
as in, okay, web app analyzer. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
When you said WAP, my brain went to web pages. WAP web pages. Like,
that WAP protocol that we used to have for mobile phones. Oh my goodness.
That doesn't make sense.
Oh, I'm so glad that was a short-lived fad.
Oh yes. That was like XML based, wasn't it? Oh god.
Yeah, just a year or two, and it was so limited in what it could do, but it tried to respond to port 80 kind of stuff. It would go out port 80. You had to recognize that it was WAP coming in.
What you had to do, you had to like recognize the web page had to recognize where the request is coming from, and then return a WAP page instead of a web page or something, right?
Yes.
And it was so limited. That was over Nokia. Oh god,
it would take forever too to get that right. And to think about what you could actually ask for in a display.
I love the graphics though. Do you remember, like, you had the W bitmaps? That were. I think Flutter actually interprets W bitmaps still. The binary like bitmaps you could fit on like a Nokia screen. The black and white images only. Wow. I think it was WBMP. It was wireless application protocol bitmap. Oh my god, I'm old.
We're doing questions. We are doing questions. Ask a question, Lucas.
Ask a question. This is a button. Ask questions. Yeah. I have to find this now. Yeah, WBMP.
Yeah, wow. WAP was awesome. There was no data fees. Oh, that was part of it.
Oh yeah. But yeah, the WBMPs were those like black and white pictures that you used to be able to like. I was it grayscale. I'm trying to remember now. Actually, let's go have a look.
Oh, so somebody looked, and apparently the web console is Dart, but it's Angular Dart, not Flutter.
Oh, well, that makes sense. They're using Angular Dart internally for their stuff still.
Yeah. Yep.
And it makes sense. Yeah. Until Jasper comes on for us, like, you know.
Yep. The internal version of Angular replaced GWT for pretty much all the properties that Google had. And so it's being used heavily. Oh, we got a queue. Yes, some tips and tricks for creation of plugins, which would display a native dialogue. The native libraries.
Tips and tricks for creation of plugins that would display native dialogue. The library is Kotlin multi-platform, and I need to use their dialogue rather than creating it in Flutter. Sure. I mean, you can just create yourself a package using the Flutter create command, give it a name and whatnot. I mean, say use template plugin, and then edit the Gradle script, add their dependency in, I guess, and then inside the bit where you create the plugin, the method channel piece, just have it call out their function to launch the dialogue. That's it. Yeah. Then your Dart side, you just call the function and up pops the dialogue on native.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any tips and tricks. I mean, like there's no nice simple way. I mean, if your plugin's getting really big, you probably want to use Pigeon or something, which automates it does a code gen for the platform channel. So, you know, it can help alleviate the kind of the manual TDM of maintaining lots of methods and parameters, and also doing validation on those parameters.
Here's a follow-up here. If I try to display the dialogue, it will display over my Flutter UI.
Yes, always. Yeah. So your Flutter UI is just a view in the activity, right? So this is Lane will tell you about this, coming from a long time Android background, I'm sure. But you have your Android activity, which is like your surface of your app. Well, okay. Conceptually, it's the surface of your app. It's not. So you have an activity which is a component. It is what's the metaphysical attribute. It's not, there's nothing physical. You have a window, which is the surface that contains a root view, and inside that is your Flutter view. And it's just a view like any other widget on the Android platform. And it just renders with OpenGL or Vulkan or whatever now. And in essence, you could actually reorder it. Like, you know, you can go stick that Flutter view in a fragment. In fact, there's a Flutter fragment in part of the shell. You can do all sorts of fun things, and this is how add to app works, right? So you can use Flutter in just portions of UI. You can just have your nav in Flutter and have the rest of your app native, like do whatever the hell you want. So conceptually, when you display native dialogue, it pops over the top because it's just literally putting either another activity in front of your own, which presents a new transparent window layer with the UI on it, or they're using a fragment and pop it onto the fragment stack or that kind of stuff, right? So I let the native code do its native thing, just display it, right? It's the same as if you're on iOS and you use what's it called, a view controller. I feel like it's not called view controller, like it's something else. It's super simple. It's super simple. The key here is to debug those things, right? So what you want to do is open up your so if you need to debug a plugin, right, you need to have the Android plugin code open up alongside your Flutter code in the editor, right? So you can do that by adding multiple modules to your app. That's a simple way, and then you can hit breakpoints. And then because it knows it's in the same code base and everything else is referenced the same, it will hit the break when it runs the code. It'll hit the breakpoint in you, so you can run your Dart code, trace it into there, hit continue, and it will breakpoint inside the Android code. But debugging a plugin is one of the things. Don't do print statements. Just do it properly.
We got one more question here that's not related to live coding. What's the best way to handle very large image loading in Flutter without using isolate? Why are you using an isolate?
I mean, okay. So let me explain. I know what the problem is. And so let me make, well, in fact, I'm pretty sure I know what the problem is. But I want to restate your problem. And you tell me if I'm correct. And then we can talk about how you fix it, okay? So, generally speaking, let's say I've got an image that is, now this used to be like 1,000 pixels by 1,000 pixels on original phones, right? But this is now we're talking about modern phones. So you might have a picture that's, let's say, 32,000 pixels by 32,000 pixels, right? So a massive image that if you loaded it would take up like 300 megabytes of RAM, right?
Yeah.
Like in fact, I'm kind of curious. What is the raw file size of a bitmap? 32,000 times 32,000 bytes. Yeah. Okay. That can't be 30 gigabytes, can it? No, I've got 120. Let me try that again. 3,200. Yeah. No. I said 32,000 pixels by 3 bytes from green blue times 32,000 horizontal vertical is 3 gigabytes. There you go. So 3 gigabytes raw memory to load that. Good luck. It's quite funny because when you see people generating these huge images from software, like I want my image to be 6x from some vector software, and it's like, why did you just generate like a 16K by 16K image? And when they load it up in there, like in Photoshop, it's like loading in squares because it's so fucking massive. You're like, yeah, you don't need an image that large. Anyway, so what we're talking about here is that a very large image is so big it will not fit into the process memory space, right? And you'll get an out of memory exception when you try and load that because it just tries to allocate too much memory. And this will happen on mobile, and it happens all the time on mobile. In fact, it happens more often than you realize a lot of the time. Now, it's a use case that most people don't care about, right? So most developers, unless you're doing some sort of image editor or like photo gallery or something like that, large images is something that you just say, let it crash if it try and load an image that's too big, right? Or or put limits on your upload or selection of files to make sure it cannot load an image that is too big, right? And then it tells the user, sorry, only support maximum of this image size or whatever it is, right? Anyway, so the point here is you need to load, and this is exactly what you saw, say, Photoshop or PDF. You'll see this in PDF PDF viewing apps, in that they load it in squares. And what they're doing is they're literally saying decode a square of the image at a lower resolution, a resolution that is adequate for the screen. For example, if your screen is HD, that's 1900 by 1080 pixels, right? 1920 by 1080 pixels. And you load your image, say, as a square on that screen, it was 1080 by 1080. So if you've got 32,000 pixels, well, now you can resample 32,000 pixels across into 1,000 pixels because it's 1080, right? So you never, like, there's no need to, you can never, like, as you zoom in, your screen views a smaller portion of that image, you see? So the further you zoom in, the less pixels you can see, right? So this is the same for, like, let's give a good example of this is Google Maps. So on Google Maps, you zoom out to see the whole globe. What Google Maps is not doing is getting every pixel from every from every road in the entire globe and then scaling it down. What they've done is they're giving you tiles at a higher zoomed out level. You with me? They're not even bothering to render that detail. Yeah. And it's that same thing that you need to do here. Now, sadly, Flutter does not come with a built-in mechanism to do this. As far as I remember, it is images as a whole block, right? I'm going to go check this, which is decode image from list, from pixels. So I will show this on screen, actually. Let's share this.
Cool.
So this is the API. There's two underlying APIs in Flutter, which are decode image from list and decode image from pixels. So pixels only deals with RGB values, right? And as you can see here, all it gives you is pixels, width, height, and then your target width and height. And this will do the resampling, right? And then allow upscaling. So if you specify target width and height, it will make it larger, which that's up to you. I would probably not do that. It depends on what your implementation is, right? And then if you've got pixels coming in, then this will be your pixel format. So this is what format those pixels are in, right? If they're in floating point, BGR, RGB, whatever. So it does actually tell you here, well, specify the output size of the image will be. The idea here being that, hang on. If only would have the image exceeded these things, exactly one of these two dimensions will force to match the other. Scaling the image to a larger than its intrinsic size would usually be avoided, since it can cause the image to use more memory than necessary. Instead, prefer scaling to canvas transformation. The image must be scaled up. The image must be scaled up. The allow scaling parameter must be set to true. So, coming back to this, right? So this decodes from raw pixels. What it does not do is decode a JPEG or a PNG. And that is what decode image from list does. However, if you look here, what you don't get is a target image width and height. So I think you're kind of stuffed. Let me, no, I tell a lie. Okay, so if we look at the implementation of this, you'll see what it does is it actually, well, it as it says, it's convenience wraparound instantiate image codec. The image codec is actually the underlying principle for the decode function. So what you can do, as it says here, instantiate image codec, you can call this function with your JPEG data that you load from the file, which could be quite big, and then your target width and height. And that's how big you're displaying it on the screen. But what this doesn't do is give you source X and Y, so you can't like decode just a portion. What you can do is decode a downscaled version, right? Like like what you consider a thumbnail. It's a high quality thumbnail, right? It can be your screen size. So yeah. Oh look, and there you go, Randall.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm highlighting?
Oh, there we go. Sorry. WBMP. Wow.
Yeah, I told you, it still supports WAP bitmaps.
Yep. Wow. Wow.
It's a funny image. It's a JPEG, PNG, GIF, animated GIF, WebP, animated, WebP, bitmap, and WAP bitmap. A digital format. It might be spoiled by the underlying.
Bado and Hollerith code as well, or no? Okay.
So hopefully, Ram, that kind of solved your question in terms of you can use a static image codec with a target to decode. And when you get back the codec, by the way, you just do get first frame. So get next frame. That's the one. And that will give you the first frame of graphics, because it might be animated. Obviously, if it's a JPEG, it's not animated, you only get one. And then frame info, you get the image as a variable. This is what you call a raw image. This is not an image widget. This is the Dart UI image class object. There you go. So it's Dart UI image. And to display that in Flutter, you use the raw image widget. So the raw image widget, there you go, displays Dart UI images directly. And so you just pass that in itself, right? So you just create a little future that loads it using that instantiate codec function and then returns this. For an implementation, you can go look at decode image from list, because if you go look at the underlying implementation of this function, there you go, right there. Right, so that creates an immutable buffer from the thing, instantiates an image codec with the buffer, and then gets the next frame and then returns that image. Right. So the annoying thing here, obviously, is that it doesn't pass on the parameters. So image codec with size, it must be a slightly different. Let's have a look. Target size. Yeah, so that just returns. Wait. Yeah, it just returns the width and height. See, if they were to return back a rectangle, then that would be perfect.
Yeah, but no.
Because then you can decode any portion of the image, and you wouldn't be required to. It's a bit more complicated. That I tell you, it's nice to say it that way, but you need to know the image dimensions before you can do it. And there's no get dimensions, like no decode image dimensions. Again, this is the whole point, right? So there's things you run into in doing software like this, right? Where you're, for example, is a catch-22, right? So how do you get the width and height of the image without loading the image? Right? So to do that, you can do it. You need to interpret the image file format and extract that metadata that is alongside the actual image data. And that it has to, like, the operating system has to know this to decode the image, right? Or the app does, or whatever. So, but there needs to be, in this case, the way that Flutter works, because it calls out to the underlying platform to do the image decoding, it needs to provide a function for us to do that. And it currently does not. That would be really handy, actually. Several times I wanted that. Anyway, right.
Yeah.
Maybe I should do a PR.
Okay, so I think we've covered that as best as we can. So it's just the live coding at this point, and we're already at like an hour and a half in. So,
all right, let's do a bit of live coding.
All right.
Right.
You can still
I was gonna say you can still ask questions, but not about what we're gonna live code.
Keep asking them. Watch for them. They're not there yet.
Right. What are we live coding? I've completely forgotten.
Oh, it's using the little cute Dart enum extensions.
Yeah, what was the parameter for the is it
I don't remember. I could look it up, I guess. You're pretty good at the Google, so change log for Dart math. Oh wait, it went out on a Medium article, I think. Some extension in the latest Dart, or was that?
It's a language feature though, isn't it? So it's in Dart.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but it's only enabled as an extension. So if you can find where the extensions are named in the Dart source, And you know what to insert.
Yeah. No, we did this before, didn't we? Let's go find it. Go find it. Hang on.
We did it back when we were trying to do patterns or something.
It was a while ago now.
That's ages ago in the Dart world. Patterns seem like there's only a recent introduction, but it's been around for a while now. Year and a half, I think, somewhere in there.
Pass.
2 years, something like that.
Experimental flags.
Mm-hmm.
Experiments.dart. Did I find it?
That's probably it. It sounds familiar.
Experimental flag name. Enable dash experiment equals something.
Yeah, it's something you need to figure out. You
All
get
right,
that from Dart source extensions.md or something like that.
Let me share this, and then we can all experience the
success or failure of the search. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
We're on the hunt. We're on the hunt looking for information.
On the hunt to the inner workings of the data sphere. Oops, there we go. Let's do it differently. And then you can hide the question.
Oh, yes.
That's fine. Right.
We know what we're looking for.
So we have experimental flags documentation, which tells you how you apply it. Enable experiment equals, and then whatever the experiment is. You can also use them with the analyzer. So you can also do enable experiment with the analyzer, right? Which essentially is the same thing, right? So this is just on the run command. This is on your project. This is really handy for when those experimental flags actually require like feedback in the analyzer for the
IDE.
Language server. What's it called?
Yeah.
Language.
The language server for the IDE. Yeah.
Yeah, but what's it? There's another name for it. Like, not language server. It's something syntax server. I can't remember it. Anyway.
Analyzer. No.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine. And then there you go. Like if you're on Visual Studio, here's how you do it. Then on Android Studio, you can either edit your run configuration, just edit in the UI. Okay. For a complete list of experimental features, go here. Oh, that was helpful. This is what I was looking for in a search.
Experimental features.dart. Yes.
I was just like searching experimental up here, and
and
I got this, the documentation, I got the process, and I got the source code, but no actual the generator or whatever.
Okay.
Interesting. Oh, look, there's the process. Oh, there you go. Okay. Anyway, right. Here's the main thing. We've got the flags here. So let's go take a look. Overview. Enabled expired validation. This is just talking about how you read these. So
programming, that one's not going to be very useful anymore.
Enhanced parts, augmentations, dot shorthands. There we go.
Yes, that's it.
Cool. This one feature, you have no idea how long I've been waiting for this feature. No one can understand. Look. Enable experimental.
Probably.
And is that it? Isn't supported by enable experiment. There you go.
Right.
There's the answer.
No, it's because you're running your analyzer without this flag.
Wait. Huh?
You need to restart your analyzer.
Oh, are we sure? Because is the no, but why would you say like explicitly this option is not supported by enable experiment? Let's have a look. Let's see what it says. Maybe you have to.
Are you running master right now?
Maybe you can run it with it. I don't know.
Is your analyzer running master?
You're right. Maybe it's not.
Yeah, I'm thinking your IDE probably didn't restart the analyzer.
No, I wouldn't think it would say not supported though. It would just be it would recognize it.
Because it's not supported in the old analyzer. That's the problem.
Yeah, maybe.
Yes, it's definitely not master.
Yeah, that's not what I want. There's my drop list. That's what I want. Give me the master. I want the master.
Oh, look at that. Downloading. I do a lot of Flutter pre-cache.
Yeah, I normally do that as well.
Uh-oh.
Okay, yeah, no, it's basically saying that the SDK requires international. This does irk me a little bit. Like, you could give that wide, like it does. The API for INTL has not changed that much that you cannot make that a wider requirement on the platform.
Just change it to any.
Right. And then we need to, do we need to change out? We need to change our language, right? In I do not have one here. 3 are greater than, less than 4, so that's fine.
Yep.
Dot shorthands, it's detected it. Shall we see? Shall we see if it works?
Ooh.
Where do we have some enums? Enum. I need enums. I need some enums.
Need some num-nums.
Old menus. Do not have like app theme. Let's do this. Will this actually
or any widget that has like a axis alignment thingy? Anything that's built in.
I've
you don't have any widgets in that.
Oh, this requires .shorthand's language feature to be enabled. Try updating your prospect with a minimum constraint of 3.9 or higher. Minimum. It needs a minimum constraint of 3.9 or higher. Okay.
It's restarting.
Oh, just whatever.
Oh, again.
No, it's fine. You need to do that because apparently it doesn't understand that 0 at the end is not greater than 0 because for some reason.
Jeez.
Come on.
Watch 2 adult men be frustrated at a stupid computer.
Oh. There you go. No longer an error.
Whoa.
Although it has said I can fix all this. So. Yeah. Where was it?
Working?
I've lost it. I've lost my enums. Oh no.
Where'd it go? Where'd it go? I saw it for a second. Rewind the tape. Let's see what it said.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah. Looks good, doesn't it?
Oh, those are beautiful.
Do we have any? Oh, look. That's something else. Oh, damn. I thought I'd, yeah, do. Oh, no, that's not what I want. It's color scheme. So this is the old code. We're just like.
Add a column and put the cross-axis alignment.
What did they change it to?
Stretch.
On surface. Yeah. What were you saying? Color cross-axis alignment and all that.
Make a column and cross-axis alignment stretch like it's supposed to be.
Let's find in here cross-axis. We got one recently. That one, sure. And that one. So should be able to do this now. It's wonderful. It's beautiful, isn't it, everyone? Look. Oh, look at that syntax.
Oh my goodness.
Cross-axis alignment itself, start or end. Bosh, done.
I can't wait to type these fewer characters. You know how many characters I'll save typing in a given day? Maybe dozens.
I mean, you say that, right? But it probably does make a difference to, like, RSI in the long run.
Sure.
That adds up to a percentage that probably is quite, substantial. Look at that. That's kind of cool. Look, cross-axis alignment equals dot center. That's the syntax you don't see.
That is what it should be looking like always.
And look, axis horizontal.
Oh yeah.
More. I need more. Where are we using enums? I need every
Wait,
enum.
Can the constraints at max width? Can constraints go away? On your
I've kind of skipped past that now. Do you remember what file it was?
It was in a layout builder.
Yeah, but I don't know what file I had open up with this. We'll just go through them. Oh, look, there you go. Look, dynamic scheme variant, vibrant, Bosh. So you couldn't get rid of colors because colors is it's like your top level global, right? It's not enum. So you're not doing like pattern matching there. So
no, it's probably because that parameter takes more than just a color. That parameter.
No. It's because dot red is not. It's a global static, right? Like you still have to reference it, such like right to find it.
Hmm.
The type is not enough because it's color is the type, not colors, right?
Right. Oh, okay. Get it.
Was this you're talking about?
Yeah. Can you get rid of constraints there?
No, because it's a variable, right? Like if it's not, if this is accessing a variable from.
But it's in scope. It's the closest thing in scope.
No, but it's just doing enums. It just does enums, right?
Oh, okay. All right.
You still need to know what variable you're getting cross-access alignment from, because child is any widget, right? So you can't solve that. But center here, there you go.
Yep. Boom. Yes.
You know what's going to happen now is we're going to have to switch away from master, and all this code's going to be broken. Where else we got?
IO is not that far away.
Oh, connection state. Oh, that's one I'd like. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So if I type it, would it? Let's see. Dot.
Doesn't expand yet.
And they will add that. They will add that, but obviously still development, right? But there you go. Look, I've got no auto fixes here or whatever, right? Like it's just
yeah. Oh wow.
There you go. So now you know. All I did was
Is there a light bulb rewrite? Is there a light bulb that comes up when you do those?
No, it doesn't. No, I tried the hotkey.
Oh.
So all you need to to the original questioner.
Yes.
To our OP. It is you add dot shorthands to analyzer or you run your code with it. Then you need to make sure that your pubspec YAML is saying 3.9 or greater. In this case, because it's dev release, it has to be -00 because -dev is whatever. Anyway, it has to be that. Yeah, and then restart your analyzer and make sure that your IDE is using the right version of Flutter if you have multiple versions like I do. And there you go. That's how you enable it. Now I'm going to undo it.
That was the original question there from Aaronsoft.
Yeah, because I can't leave that enabled. I'm afraid I can't use master at the moment. So. And we're just gonna, and then if we do stuff with masters, it's going to break for everyone that tries to like download the code. So yeah, sad times, I know. Soon, the sooner they get it out, the better. That is like, you have no idea. You have no idea.
I'm betting it's out in 2 weeks.
You reckon? Did we do 2 weeks?
I bet it's some place for IO. Just a guess.
Oh, that would be so awesome.
Yeah, although it's not in beta yet. It probably needs to go in beta before it can go into.
Yeah, I think we're going to be looking for at least 3 months.
Yeah,
because the next quarter release is what month are we on? Yeah, May. So Q2, 1 month. End of May. Is my brain working me right?
See, yeah. So the last stable went out 3 weeks ago, and 2 months.
So January, right? It's once a quarter stable.
Yeah.
Every month is a beta. So we might see beta this month. If this is that ready, I don't think it is, but I mean, if it hasn't got code suggestions, it's probably not ready for beta. So that might be my setup, to mind you. So
well, the betas for the last 2 months have just been 3.8, not 3.9. So 3.9 hasn't made it to.
Yeah, it's not until that's out in beta are we going to see that. So that's probably way away yet. Give me a second, everyone. We can.
But it's nice to know they're working on things now. They're not working on macros.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the whole point, right?
Yeah. Get them working on other stuff. We like you, team. We like what you're doing. Just keep doing more of it.
More.
Make our lives simple.
Yes. Get us that Dart and Flutter host pipe. We want to drink all of that down.
Yes, drinking from the fire hydrant.
Yeah, the fire hydrant. That's the phrase. Yeah.
Yep. Right. Drinking with a fire hose, not the hydrant. The hydrant would be a little awkward, I think. Although it's probably
high pressure situation.
Yeah. Either way, you don't have a mouth left. Yes. Dangerously so.
Isn't there a meme for that with the guy like looks like a fire hydrant like speaking?
It's all good.
Right. Give me 1 second, chaps, and then we want to do some. Do I want to do MVVM? Oh, it's so boring.
Yeah.
We've got some code suggestions. Come on, let's give us something. Do we really want?
Yeah, I mean, this is the only thing we got working on right now. So,
Lane, do you really want to see? Do you really want to see MVVM?
I don't. I think
you really want to see it.
It's disgusting. It's to be abolished. But that's okay.
To be fair, I asked months ago. Arrow to the heart. Arrow to the heart.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. We can't do everything for everyone, I'm afraid. I think we did it months ago. I've got view model stuff already made in Humpday. No. We'll take a look at it. But I am actually curious to see what I've actually already got. Because if I've already got it, I'll show it to you. And no point doing the same thing over again. View model.
You got a grep for view model because you probably called them something view model.
I thought that.
Just in case.
Do you know what?
If only you had some tool that can do semantic analysis of local files so you could ask it contextual questions. If only you had technology like that. If only there was something that could read similarities.
Do you know what? I think I did do this. But I might have to apologize, Lane, because I think I did it like in 2019.
Oh my god, how old is that?
I did. Oh god, I did. I just found it. When was that from? When's that file from? Oh god,
it's like Flutter 1, right? That's a ways ago.
Hang on, I can't even run this code. Like I don't know what the file date is. Hang on a minute.
It's not even null safe. I bet. Not from 2019.
Oh my god, let's have a look.
And here's how you make this code null safe.
Okay, all right. I created it in 2018.
Oh my god! Oh,
and it was last modified in 2020.
Yeah. Maybe that was to make it null safe. That would have been nice.
I don't think. The reason why I stopped using this project is because nothing is compilable right now.
Nice.
Let me bring this up on stream. Why not? So look, everything is red. Everything is red. Everything is broken.
Oh geez.
Selective view model. What was this? Oh god. What was I doing? I don't even know what was going on.
I haven't seen the word new in a long time.
I know, right? Like, yeah. You know, like the problem is I didn't name things by date then, and like we've got so many examples. I need to upload all this into like a library because there's so much cool stuff in here. Like,
sure.
I think we was asked about how to center a line. I don't know. Who knows? Center carousel.
Steph is poking from the side.
Yeah, no, there isn't. Doesn't matter what you say, there isn't. Doesn't exist. You'll get it wrong.
Yep. It would be just as confused as most humans trying to deal with that code.
Yeah.
Man.
Like, yeah, try and explain this kind of math to like, an AI. It's like,
no. Yes.
What is this? I don't even know.
Wow. Paint.
I kind of want to resurrect. I just want to resurrect some of this stuff and see what it does.
Really? Lots of red.
What is this? Gradient. Radial gradient.
Yep.
Drawing a circle with a radial gradient with a blur mask. that does some weird inclination azimuth matrix transformations. Is this making a 3D spinning? Oh, I want to see this. I want to see this. Sorry, chaps. Give me 1 second. New file. Humpday. What day are we on now? 05.
Start updating that. You have other things to finish.
Spot. No, we're not. We're not, because I can't possibly do that. But I do want to run this to see what it does. As I'm sure other people are now curious about what this weird, funky matrix math does.
Yeah.
So what do we need to update? Why is it broken? Because we don't have. Oh wow, this was before null saving.
Oh no! Oh no!
How can super key? Look at that! Oh my goodness me! There's some code I haven't seen in a long time. Oh god!
Yeah. Oh.
Right. Get rid of that. How we doing?
This is true acknowledgement that Flutter and Dart have been around for a while. If we can act like old geezers with, I haven't seen code like this in a long time.
Yeah, I haven't seen this code since I was a young lad.
Fell off my dinosaur.
2018?
Yeah. Yeah. 2018. Good Lord.
I love that. I love it. You see what Steph said? She's like, and Simon goes down the rabbit hole. 4 hours later, Simon's still at it.
Yeah. We're not gonna do it.
We're not doing that. Trust me, we're not doing that. No way.
I actually have someplace I can be at the top of the hour if we can get
not here.
Yeah. Oh, it's not until 11:30, so that's fine. I got an hour and a half. I've got about a half hour at least.
Oh, it's compiled. That's a good sign.
It compiled. My goodness.
I compiled and ran the wrong code.
Rainbow. Look at that rainbow.
Nah, it's the wrong. I ran the wrong example.
Oh no! No wonder it worked.
It should still work, but there's nothing. There's not like a massive, complicated thing here. I'm just kind of curious what it does.
I didn't see much red in there, so it should be compilable at least. Oh, well, yeah.
Oh, look at that!
My goodness, and it still runs.
How good is that, everyone?
That's awesome. I haven't seen balls like that since 2008, 18,
when did we do
whatever.
That? See, yeah, it took 2018, right?
Yeah.
I'm guessing people want this code.
To laugh at it, to throw darts at it.
I want oh yeah, because we had some perspective. Hang on, let's have perspective. Does it actually? Oh, look at that! Do your brain in that? It's not. Do you see? It looks like it's inside out now.
Oh geez.
There's a slight difference there when you.
Oh.
Because things get larger in the middle, right? And doing the other matrix means it doesn't. Yeah, so this is just drawing all those dots and working out the 3-dimensional position of all the dots.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's free every week on this show. There you go.
Every Wednesday.
Free. Yeah, today free. Exactly.
Yeah. It'll cost you tomorrow, but it's free today.
That is actually, I have to say, I'm saying it's pretty cool.
That's kind of nice.
Let's
I'd use that as my screensaver.
It's because it looks like it's moving around, right? But it's
If
I go to draw that in, where's the paint? Black. Does it have the same effect when you don't have the background? It doesn't quite have the same effect. There's almost a warping to it, but it's anyway. Right. Save.
How did you figure out whether it was on the front or the back of the sphere?
I know, right? It's one of those things that does your eyes in, right? And then also, if the So the blue gradient is actually migrating around as well, right? So we're using the animation value to drive where the offset is from center. So it's 8% radius from center point at going round, right, clockwise. I suppose that would make a difference if that was moving with the circle, with the sphere in a three-dimensional way. That might actually make you feel like there's a texture on it. However, since this point, we did actually do textured 3D.
Yeah, look at that.
So this is kind of like not needed anymore, I guess. And we've now got Flutter GPU coming out. So again, you don't really need this. But
that's it for footing. We could redo this in Flutter GL.
That would be cool. Use Flutter GPU to actually do it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, what was it we were trying to do? Let's do view model. After popular demand, we should do view model. Let's
All right.
do it. That's fine. I mean, what example do we want to do? Like, I need to give some thought.
The standard registration.
Oh, I'm joking, Leighton. It's
phone number.
What do we want? From scratch. This is how we do things.
Whoa.
Gosh. And then, so I suppose I need to think of it like I was saying earlier from multiple sources. I was one example sort of. We could do like 3 different colors that populate a view model. I feel like we want different data types. Yeah, it depends. API on list view. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, so or registration like random. Yeah. Let's do. I mean, okay. Let's explain what we've got. So let's do this. Yeah, let's do this. I'm just gonna like throw some stuff together at the screen, and we're just gonna throw stuff at this and see what happens. So let's say we've got
oh, I like that. Local sorting applied on API.
Oh, that one I suggested. Yeah, we could do. I was thinking about like a dashboard screen might have it. Let's do 2. Let's do 2. Let's do. Yeah. I'm just thinking about like let's do a list. Okay, so let's start off with material app. Home debug banner, and then our home is going to be a scaffold as usual. Just go for that. We're going to have an app bar. App bar is going to have a title, which is going to be loaded from the view model initially, but we'll just put title in here, and then we'll have body, which is going to be a list view. Bring this up. List view builder. And we'll have it return a list tile with a title, text, item number, index. Sure. And we'll have a bottom app bar, navigation bar, app bar, which can be a row. Use the bottom nav bar, I guess. This is the bottom nav bar. I'm being boring. Bottom nav bar. Yeah, I've got an idea. Oh, that's enough. I want to do that. Yeah, I like that idea. We'll see in a minute. Right, and then we got navigation bar item. So we'll do what do we want for our items? We want icons dot home. That thing? No, oh, it is. It wants the actual widget. Icon home. And then label home. What we need, like, let's do home, news, feed. Do we have like a feed icon? Oh, we do. Yeah. Okay. Cool. And then what? Profile. Who needs AI? I do, apparently. User. What's it called? Verified user. It's not user. Person. I thought it was called person. Ah, it is. Okay. Yeah. Cool. And then on tap in index. Let's do that for a second. Right. Let's run that and see what we get.
Sure.
A debug.
Is it going to be a rotating ball? No.
That's fine. It's going to be 10,000 rotating apps all at once.
Yes, right. It's like we start with the counter app and we make every one of them rotating balls instead.
Okay. So there we go. We got
a list.
Let's make it smaller.
Skipped 63 frames.
Ah, that's fine.
Okay.
So, problem number 1, I don't like it. Problem number 2, we're going to fix it. Right. So first of all, material 3, you're going to go away because I want to show definition. Theme. Theme data. Oh my goodness me. Right. Use material 3, false. I guess that's slightly better. What's the one with you can do like from color scheme or something, right? From color?
From seed, from color scheme.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. From you just like color scheme from seed, right? Yeah. Default constructor from seed. There you go. What color, Randall? Give me a color.
Purple.
Purple.
Yeah, I like purple.
What purple? Should we go with deep purple?
Oh God, I only know like 7 colors. The ones that are in
the ones that are in the rainbow, yeah.
Yeah, the official ones, except purple in there.
There you go. We have a royal app. That's the color of royalness. Apparently, purple.
Okay.
Right. And shall we? I wonder if there's a nice way of like telling it that the bottom nav bar should be a color. I've forgotten. I'm using material design agent. So look, is there a nice way of doing it in the color scheme? Can we copy with bottom app bar or something? I can do it with theme. Do it with theme. Copy with app bar theme. Bottom app bar theme. Color. So here's the thing. Here's what people. Well, let's just show you how you do this, and then we'll say theme data. Make a function that generates a theme. So we'll create theme, and then we're going to create it from a color because why not? So color, seed color. Then in here we'll do theme. Now you could cache this, right? Like if the theme not changing on every build, why am I building on every build, right? So I'm not going to bother with that right now, but just saying, don't just run functions off your build and go, why is it taking forever to do my build?
Theme data from color scheme from. Just derive everything. Derive the world.
Oh, I can't really copy it somehow. Right, and then what else do we want? Anything else? Shadow color, surface tint color. Why don't you see color for that? See what happens. It did nothing. I wonder if because it's a bottom navigation bar. Ah, there we go. What can we customize on this in the theme? Color. Gosh, I'm gonna have to do this. Okay, and we should have unselected color. That's white. Selected color. Cyan. Cyan. Ooh, maybe not cyan. Let's do a very light pink. Very, very light pink. Oops. There we go. Maybe a bit darker. 200. Don't like any of it. I'm not a designer. What goes well on purple? Sort of like a blue.
I don't know.
That's too dark.
Yeah,
if you do like a light blue.
Do that.
Bob Ross. Let's get a coffee on right here.
Yes.
Right, that'll do. Right. Enough playing around with themes. Right. So now we have our list. We go back to view model stuff. Sorry, everyone. Slight distraction. Right.
Just some yak shaving. Got to do the yak shaving first.
Gotta do the yak shaving. So we want a. Okay, we'll do organization update. Yeah, okay, let's do that. So we'll have a class. We'll call it presenter. Why not? We'll do yes, yeah. Home. Let's go. There's home repository. Hey, go on. Home repository, whatever. And we'll have a home presenter, and we'll have a home view model, and anything else. Now we'll do it that way, right? And then in our app, we'll make this state full. Sure thing, boss. Don't like that in there. Oh well, let's do a late home repository. And our repository is going to be, let's do that for now. And we're going to implement yeah, I'll stick it here. I'm just making words up here just to piss.
Yes,
let's do, and then it's going to provide a home repository. Yeah, home. I mean, no, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm asking for trouble. I won't do that.
We're not going to get done with this by the bottom of the hour, are we?
Oh, yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. Let's see how fast we can do this. We've done this bajillion times.
I did have another live stream I wanted to go hang out at. Already missing one live
right,
one.
Where are we? On the home screen, we'll create a. He's a fast follower, he says. Good, because I'm not going to slow down. Right. So what we want to do is have a repo in here, app of context, okay. Repo home, repo of. Come on, I could have renamed it by now. Thank you. And then we'll just do that late. It's happy. Yeah, review model is going to extend change notifier. Let's go up the top. Extends view model. And our view is going to have, oh, sorry. Our view is going to have, our view model is going to have a title. Don't want my view model to, no, I don't. I don't want it to be a change notifier. I don't know what the site says. I'm not really care about that. I just don't want it. And we want a list of string for items, I guess. And we will say bool is admin. Yeah, we'll do that. All right.
Is admin true?
I mean, like, so it all depends. There's a bunch of ways of doing these things. I'm trying to think that. Yeah, this is can do it like this, and we can always flip it up and change it, right? So, yes, sure. Abstract base class. Final. Do I really care about that? No, just keep it simple. Keep it simple. Right. Presenter logic. So we're going to have a button which changes the sort order. Yeah. Update sort order. Like that. More ascending. Really basic example. And this is going to have a getter for our view model, home view model. Ooh, maybe. Idea. I just had an idea, but maybe we won't do that right now. Let's do this view model. Yeah, okay. Late door. I mean, the presenter can just adjust the view model and provide the business logic for the view model. Our home repository is going to generate the. I mean, look, there's tons of patterns. Like this can generate the initial view model. So we'll have something like future. No, I don't want the view model. What are we talking about? List of string load home data. That's what I want. Return. Yeah, return. Yeah, sure. And what should we say? We'll say home item I. Sure. Some silly kind of loading thing. Yeah, Okay, and then so our home screen. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, there's a ton of ways to do it. I feel like I'm mixing metaphors here, but we'll do it one way, and we'll see how nice it looks, right? So we'll do a init state. Oops, what am I doing? Should have done that. Why am I not getting my? Weird. I think it's because there's an error elsewhere in the code. Yeah,
That's weird.
Oh yeah.
Oh, analyzer just tired.
No. Right. So I'm just thinking about, like, I could set up the presenter. I'm just debating where I want my loading logic. So we could have the presenter view back the model, and the model can hold the state of if it's loading or not. So it is loading, right? And this, yeah. So in a sense of when we create a presenter, we can have it have an initial. Yeah, we'll have an initial model. We could do some like state stuff in here, right? So actually have like static initial and just do like a const implementation of this or something.
You have const getters? I guess you can, right?
I mean, it's not a get. It doesn't need to be a get because it don't need to generate each time.
Yeah.
Right. We just need one constant value for the entire lifetime of the app.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And that could just be, actually, can be set here. There you go.
I guess doing it static also makes it lazy, so it won't actually be triggered until the first one pulls it.
Only if it wasn't const, right? If it's static final, you can actually use static late final, right? And then you don't even need the late in this case.
You don't need late because static final is implicitly late.
Yeah, that's what I meant. You don't need late in this situation, but
yeah.
Const. Right. So we'll do initial, I don't know, load, and load is gonna take a repo. I guess we can build it with a repo. No, we'll build a presenter and then we'll do load with the repo. I mean, that really makes not. It depends on if you're just using the repository to I'm using the repository just here to like surface the data. But if you were trying to, if the repository was acting more like a stateful kind of object where you're interacting on a long-term basis with the presenter, then you probably want to pass it in as a dependency into the projector, into the presenter. But in this case, we'll do it this way. So yeah, so down here, instead of doing this, I'm going to have a presenter. And then when the presenter starts up, we'll tell it to load from the repository. And we can also just do like a presenter dispose. I'll have the presenter up and extend change notifier. That'll give it a dispose method. It'll also give it something that can be listenable from the front end. And then when the presenter changes its state, I want it to rebuild the UI. So I have a listenable builder. and the listenable will be the presenter. Case. Value. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. And then we'll have it rebuild everything right now in my example because I'm using all these things. But you know what? Like, depends on what you're doing. It's whether or not you want to actually. I've screwed up my brackets. I wasn't paying attention. There we go. So then when we get our presenter value in here, we can say view model is presenter dot view model. We could just always get this. Let's just fetch it straight from the presenter. So our title was going to be on the title, and our items are going to be based on items length. Count. Yeah. Sure. What else? Yeah, and if it's admin, I was thinking we could do like a admin. Is it like a admin person thing or something?
Admin person. Yes. Someone with a military cap of some kind.
I don't know. Just like there's search, there's remove,
personal injury,
injury person.
I didn't realize there were.
Yeah, a lot of person. That sounds like
lock person. Wow, I wonder what that actually looks like. Do you have a little? You don't have a.
It's a lock with a little person on the side of it.
Oh, geez. All right.
Out there.
That's crazy. It's crazy.
Then now up here we'll have actions. We'll have an icon button. No, we can have like a what was it called? Is an icon? No, menu. Anchor? No. Pop-up menu. That's what I want, a pop-up menu button. I'm not thinking it's this one, but we'll do it anyway. List tile. No, it's a pop-up menu entry. That's what I want, pop-up. And then there's pop-up. There's a couple of different inherited ones from this. Pop-up menu item divider. That's whatever item. Exactly. Like, I don't even like those. I'm just adding a presenter there because I like having a presenter.
Is this MVP or MVVM then?
Not really doing MVVM per se. I'm not doing any particular thing. I'm just showing how you use view models.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it really doesn't matter. What? MVVMP, yeah, exactly, right? And you got to put an F at the beginning because it's Flutter.
Yes, there we go. Model view Simon.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get like a something working, and we can then tweak it and choose what we want to show. Right now, I've completely gone off whack. What I was trying to do here. Child. I suppose like label style, label text style. So why has it got label and not? All right, let's just do this. So sort ascending.
Pasted the Medium article in that I wrote as a joke called the YMMV.
Oh dear.
Time.
You know what? I've forgotten. I want an example of this. I've forgotten the protocol. Update to menu anchor, which is what I want to use. When I think it's a menu anchor. I just don't want to deal with a bunch of hassle. What are they doing here? Why run? Are you run? Why I see nothing? Menu focus, menu item button. Should we do menu anchor? Why do I feel that this is not what I want? Well, there's nothing happening. I don't think this is what I want. Material app scaffold, my cascading menu. Is this maybe like a right click menu or something? Or when you click them and they get a menu? Because I'm not getting it. Maybe it's all broken at the moment. Maybe it's using the master branch. Yeah, I mean, there we go. That's what I want. Look at that. We'll do that.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
Okay, so we want a menu anchor around the icon bar, which is what I was going to do. Damn it. Do your first instincts, people. Isn't there a builder? I think you get a builder with menu anchor. And you put in that, yeah? Yeah, it is, yeah. Because you get your menu controller. Is it? It is that. Yeah. Why was it complete? Oh, because I'm not trying to widget. And then on our button press, we can say controller dot open.
Oh.
Icons sort, something like that. Sort. There you go. Okay. Cool. And then in our menu anchor button, I can't remember what it was, menu text button, menu item button. That's the one.
Yeah.
And then child, we're going to have a row. There's not an icon. This is an icon text. Is there? Oh, leading icon.
Yeah.
On sort. Is it not like up and down? Is it not like that's
there's no reverse sort. Maybe it's reverse sort dot something. No. Sorry. Oh, maybe you spell it. No.
That's annoying. I want like an. I guess I can just put the alphabetical. Yeah, let's do that. Do sort by alpha, and then is there a label? Text, child, should we just text and say ascending, and then we'll do another one.
Icon ascend.
Ascend. There is. Oh, nice. No.
Oh, nice.
No, you failed us. That's it. Shame.
You trolled us.
No, it's because you know what it was. He asked an AI, and his AI said, "You should use icons as ascending."
Yep.
Right. Where are we? Let's go click on that.
I can ask Google.
Hey, look, we're ascending and descending as options now. Okay, so now we need on press because they're disabled. And then we can then extract this out here completely because why won't I put it in there? And then we're going to do a stateless and call it home menu, overflow menu or something. Right. And then when you change your
arrow upward and arrow downward.
Yeah, but they're just arrow. I guess you can do that. Anyway,
eat them both. Need an up arrow on
home sort order. Sending. There you go. And we'll have a final value changed, unchanged. Pop that into there. And unchanged. Home sort order sending. Grab our menu. Right, so if we take our update sort order, taking a home sort order now, we can pass our function to our presenter. And we'll have bottom. Why not bottom nav? Let's do that in there as well. My presenter. I'll turn into a controller, whatever. Where am I? There we go. This is kind of turned into a controller already. We'll figure that out in a minute. Right. I've kind of liked that so far. We can add another icon here and just have final void callback on admin. Agreed. Oh, shut up. Yeah. I guess so. No, I'm good. I'm not there. Not there. Right. What if we could get up? All things. 1 second. Right. Where was I with all this? Right. Admin login. Sure. This kind of got a bit twisted. It's not really what I wanted. Nice example, though. It's not really what we're trying to aim up with, actually. I'm running out of time. What can we do in a limited amount of time? Right, so we've got our sort order. So let's go sort that out now. And then, yeah, and then we'll tweak other things. That sounds like a good idea. Sure. This has gone completely sideways on me.
And I knew I wasn't going to make the half-hour mark. Right.
Z80 with Flutter. I actually done that. I am the owner of the Z80 package.
Yeah.
Don't tempt me.
Do what in RiverPod? There's nothing to be done in RiverPod for this yet. We're not really doing state management except the app state. And that you can use inherited widget with. Sorry, I was just mumbling a response to Photo Universe.
That's all right. Right.
No RiverPod.
I really. We could do this like. This is completely not what this is now. I've completely gone sideways on this, but I want to make this functional, and then we're going to call it quits, and then we can return to this topic next week. I really, I wrote way over time now where I wanted to be. So let's just do this quickly. I know.
I knew it. I knew it was going to happen. It's okay. I can eat lunch anytime. It doesn't matter. I actually can. That's scary. I don't get hungry at regular intervals anymore.
Yeah. Don't tell me a second. Right. Did not see this coming. Really? We saw this. Everyone saw this coming a mile away. Right. Okay. So we want to load. We're going to say we want to do home repo, like load home data. We could make this. Let me see. Why not? Do something like view model. Copy with data, and then we'll do something like it starts off loading as well. So I say it's loading false. Admin login. This could be a value notify now with just the view model, right? Like it's kind of gone sideways. And then we'll do something like if order. Well, let's switch on the order. Fingers. Switch. Yeah, in fact, we'll do this slightly. We'll say view model equals copy with items, and then we'll do this.
You're going to end up writing nearly the same thing twice. I think I would have factored out so the ascending and descending map.
Well, that's what I was just trying to look at here, how I want to handle that. But it's if it was treated the same ordering, then we kind of don't actually want to change it. But then we don't store the order right now, so you know what? Let's just not even bother. So
yeah.
just let...
Okay. E compared to A. Or you can just put a minus sign in front of it. I do that a lot. Reverse sort.
Yeah, I suppose you could. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a trick I learned back in Perl 30 years ago that you just put a minus in front of the comparison function.
That's fine. And then it becomes state, not view model now. I know. Everyone.
I could do a video on that. Hey, that'd be a quick video. Here's a cheating trick Randall learned 30 years ago in Perl.
Right. So log in. Oh. Okay. That's interesting. Why did I lose the colors? What? How did that make sense? I add an extra icon, and it's there. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. How did I lose the color? What? What? How does that make sense? Okay, so that works. Sort, descending. There you go. That worked. Sort, ascending. There you go. This is not really turned into a great example. I apologize. I don't know why that's broken. That is so random. Oh, no, it's not. No, I know what's going on here. Bottom now, when it has more than 4 items, has like a different behavior, which is look, use legacy color scheme. Hang on.
It goes scrolly or something, right? Or
Yeah,
sidebar.
Hang on.
Little thingy.
Really? It's kind of interesting though that it completely changes the background color, which I was not expecting. I get the fact the rest might change. What did they actually do? It's another like animated background theme or something. Because I mean, like, there's only so many colors here, and we've selected type, shifting, fixed. Yeah, so we go to the shifting one. That's interesting. So why would the shifting one lose its color? Let's set this to shifting to begin with and see. What's it called? I don't know what even the enum was now. Joel. There it is.
Hi.
Shifting. Hello, welcome back.
I'm here to tell you, you've gone way long.
Yes. Yeah.
You're ignoring.
I'm perfectly aware of that. Thank you very much.
But see, I needed to talk to you about some things. But hey, I knew you were going down a rabbit hole when you started this at 1 hour and 57 into it. Okay, goodbye.
Right.
Stop by just to say that. Lovely.
This is going to bug the hell out of me now. Why is the? I'm going to have to go look. I'm going to have to look, people. Sorry, I need to know what's happened to my background color. And it's going to be completely obvious when I see it. But things need to be known.
Down a rabbit hole to a dead end. Definitely.
Hi, Flutter Universe. I don't know who you are, but hi.
It's someone else along on the bus for this
there's
ride.
our 3 greater than 3 shifting type. Okay, so it makes it transparent. No, it's always transparent. What am I talking about? tile. Ink response. No, it's going to be in the background, right? Effective. Okay. Hang on. Effective type. Push circle. Color tween. Unselected color. Fixed color. Sure. That's if it's fixed. Otherwise, it's shifting. Colors theme, color scheme, surface. Because why? All right. That's why. So theme, color scheme, surface. So to fix this, just for this one widget, we can do this. Wrap with theme. Are you supposed to do it, everyone? Theme.of context. Copy with color scheme. Color scheme?
At the top.
Wrap this in a builder. Grab our theme. You could do this out of the builder, to be fair, but it's kind of a bit nicer for an example. And we'll do this same as what we're doing with theme. We'd say theme, copy with, theme color scheme, copy with, and then surface. I'm sure that there are, don't get me wrong, there's way better ways of like doing what I'm doing here, probably, but this will do for now. And selected color. We changed it here, didn't we? We could just backgrounds. Yeah, let's get the oops, sorry everyone. Bottom at bar theme background color. Isn't it? I swear it said use surface as its color. Let's do colors.red. Let's see. Colors.red. Why? Why you no work? I literally read it's a color scheme surface, right? Or was it? It says, yeah. That's what I read. Now I need to go find it again. Effective type. Where was I? Theme data color scheme surface. Oh no, that's a default if you don't pass the unselected theme. Okay, I was misread that. Icon theme. Bar
I'm
layout.
going to leave you to this. I'm going to go learn more about Flame. Have fun.
You use unscroll background color. Oh, it's just so you can have a background color for each of the different widget items then. Really? So I have to say it on each item.
What's this lane keeps saying? Dig out of the rabbit hole, change the type to fixed. What's fixed? Type of what?
Fine. I want theme dot scheme dot surface. Let's just do this. Hang on. Let's just do red here for a second. Red. That's what I thought. Good. I think there's a bottom out part background. That is just so ridiculous. I don't like that. So why am I having to put that on every icon when I'm using the shifting one? This is why I don't use the theme widgets. I just build my own. I great. Don't get me wrong. They're great.
Yep.
I just don't need them. Right? Like to do what I'm doing here with bottom at bar, you can just do that with a row.
Oh, yeah. Nav bar type fixed.
Yeah, but it automatically goes into shifted mode, right? Oh, can you set it back to fixed? I did not think of that. Yeah, that's right. I was, yeah, okay. Oh, it's not have bar, that's why. Type. All right, so you can have a greater than that fixed one. And when I have the admin bar, yeah, there you go. Okay. See, the thing is, if I want the animation now, you have to put this is what I'm trying to say, right? Like, why should having the shifting animation require you to have a background color for every single one selected? I mean, this is the thing. I'm using a material design widget, right? Now everyone wants to complain about it, right? Like I'm doing right now. But actually, this is not what it's meant for. It's design. It's their design pattern. It's the material design pattern, right? That's what you're using. That's what you're going to get. I don't like that. So if you want to fix that yourself, right, then you would just make a little widget with a row in it, and it just we tap on an icon, make a bunch of little icon buttons or whatever, and then when you tap on it, it reports the icon. And when it's selected, it's the current index one. Just make it blue. There you go. You've made yourself a bottom left button. It's not complicated, people. Right. Well, this has not gone, I mean, the way I was expecting, to be honest. And also our title didn't change. This is where's our
different way.
But it's I don't know. I guess it's kind of an interesting example.
Yeah. Reminiscent of other ones, but sure.
Yeah. So and then you could have down here one last thing. Let's just put let's see if presenter view model is loading. Do a center circular. Oops.
Not adaptive.
Yeah, I could do right. Fine.
Yeah. There we go.
And then I'll put. You actually see it loading because it just returns an array, right? So let's make this take longer on purpose.
Yep. 3 seconds. Oh, well, at least we help somebody out.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully this kind of like gives you maybe some semblance of like some sort of strategy, I guess, for want of a better word. I mean, this kind of turned in the view model has turned into like view state, right? Because I ended up chucking a bunch of other variables in there. I mean, when is it not? I mean, I put this on screen maybe for maybe treat view model more of like a just for the list or something at that kind of level. Maybe I'm mixing data types. This is where I wanted to get to.
MVC next week. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I've kind of like mixed up the responsibilities here, but you kind of like gather it. Like having that separation is fine. I've made this mutable. Then another thing you could do here is
just slid everything over.
Well, the thing is, what you can actually also do here, and this is the nice thing, is we have got this. What I was actually going to halfway through this, I kind of had this couple of deciding moments. So I was thinking that actually what I could do is define a home view model as just the getters for these, and then implement that on here. So extension change notifier implements home view model, right? And then your presenter effectively becomes a read-only surface for maybe the view to use. But then I was like, well, I actually have functions in here. So, I mean, to be honest, the key here is organization, right? Like you imagine that you've like doing this regularly throughout your app or something, then you've got some semblance of organization, and that's all it's about, right? Like how do you organize your data, right? Just make a pattern and stick to it, right? All right. Anyway, what should we call this? What we call this? MVS. MVS.
Sure.
So I'll put both the 3D ball kind of animation thing, whatever it was, up on the thing right now. These all go MIT, so you can use them in however you want to use them.
Use them to taunt your friends. It's fine.
Exactly. Let me just post these up on Gists, and I'll put the links in the chat for everyone. 1 moment, please.
And I'll be seeing some of you at I/O coming up in person in a few weeks, and then a few weeks after that, FlutterCon. For those of you who are making it to New York, so
how can you not make it to see you? How can anyone not make it to see you, Randall? Come on.
I know, me in the flesh. Find out I'm not just an avatar. Also, be sure to watch this stream that you're watching. Subscribe to this Flutter community, or you can also subscribe specifically to the AI stream, which we gave earlier in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will inform you that we have a show coming up on Friday or Sunday.
There's one on Monday, and there's a vibe coding playlist on here on YouTube for this Sunday as well for Norbert. Yeah. So Sunday and Monday, there's 2 more streams before the next Hump Day next Wednesday.
Right. More content than you know what to do with, other than learn. Learn, everyone, learn.
So here is the spinny ball. If anyone wants it, 1 spinny ball. And then the next one's coming up. MVS pattern.
Yep.
This another acronym. Let's throw another one in there. Sure.
Yeah.
I gotta get like anyway. Model view presenter view model S. MVP MVS.
Yep. MVP. MVIP. Model interpreter view.
This is too funny.
MVP MVS, right. The future is MMMMMM. It's all models all the way down.
Oh god, there you go.
Yes. All right.
Are they both public? Make it public? I did. Oh, sorry. Right. I think so. And feel free to go look at my gists for the rest of the other examples. Yeah, we can invent a new. That's it. We should invent a new. The way you have like this flying spaghetti monster. We should make a new one called Model View Spaghetti Monster Code, and it's just like anyone that says they believe in the flying spaghetti monster. That's their new coding pattern.
Right, ramen. Yes, indeed. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, right. If only you spelled Remy's name correctly. Next time I speak to him.
Oh, that made me laugh. Correctly, yeah. Remy, guy. Right. Thank you all, and we'll see you same time, same place next week. Bye for everyone.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.